Shall we start again?
Welcome to Still Untitled, the Adam Savage Project. I'm Will.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Norm.
Hey, so just as a minor bit of housekeeping, we did a episode, I think last week, about hearing loss.
Which is, the responses have been, again, you know, Chris Hardwick says, don't read comments on the internet. He refers to it as cutting.
Yeah.
But I've been reading a lot of the comments on it. I find them really inspiring. I'm really glad that talking openly about that has engendered such a wide range of responses, including one up on Tested where a man said, I'm older and I've had hearing loss for a long time in my family. I drive my family crazy. And if you can admit to it, then I could admit to it. And I'm going to go get hearing aids. And I got a little weepy.
It's good. I mean, the comments were overwhelmingly positive on that episode.
And people like hearing about surgery and the wonderful details.
Hey, so Norm, when you have brain surgery, they cut up under your gum and then just pull your face up.
That's not what happens.
That is a thing that happens.
That is a Carol Burnett line.
Oh, really?
Carol Burnett says, do you want to know what childbirth is like? Take hold of your upper lip and stretch it over your head.
No, is it lower lip?
Oh, maybe it's
lower lip. Yeah, lower lip.
I thought it was a Bill Cosby line.
Was it?
Well, Bill Cosby clearly knows about childbirth.
I'm pretty sure that it's a Carol
Seems
Burnett.
like a Carol Burnett.
I could be wrong about that.
We'll find out. The comments will tell us. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you guys, a lot of people said, hey, I want to send this to my hard of hearing or deaf relatives that don't want to talk about this stuff. But the closed captions were done automatically by YouTube, and they were really, really not right and funny. For example, every time you say operation, I think it thought it was something Haitian. Anyway. Yes.
Out for Haitians?
I spent some time this morning, and those comments, the captions are fixed. Beautiful. So if you want to see them, you can send them to YouTube. Tell them to hit the CC button, and the transcript is human. We're not going to do that for every video because we do long videos, and it takes a lot of time. And it was funny for the first 2 minutes, and then terrible for the next 3 hours.
The good thing is that those things will get better over time.
The automatic captioning. In theory, yes.
Promise, yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. If you watch like live sports events, those automatic captions are pretty good.
But I think there are people.
I think there are people.
Are there people typing that stuff?
I'm pretty sure there's people
I
typing
think, at least it used to be.
It's like stenographers?
For news. I think now, and this is how I would do it. It's got to be a combination where the person's filtering out words.
No, actually, I think it is very specifically, having watched a bunch of them, because I kind of get off on that stuff, is that it is, what do you call it? Stenographer type of thing. A court stenographer isn't typing. They're actually
cording.
Doing a shorthand that uses the word sounds.
Right.
And I've seen the mistakes that I have seen, the syntactical mistakes on the television closed captioning, live television, is specifically, you have a homonym there.
Right.
Because the computer is automatically translating what the stenographer.
Oh, it's picking the words based on the sounds.
Right.
So your, and there all get mixed up.
But it is a hybrid system.
Yes, I do think it's a hybrid system.
Cyborgs.
I love, like, that's the
Samantha
kind of job.
Morton sitting there like,
that's the kind of job that I love learning about, because like anything else, there's a Super Bowl of that. Like there is someone who is the best stenographer in the world who does that kind of live closed captioning. Right. And I got to imagine that, like, it's probably not that they work for the State of the Union, for the networks for the State of the Union, because those guys get the script in advance.
Right.
But I wonder where where do you send the best live captioner? Like, what is their job? Where do they work?
Where are they?
Yeah.
That's a good
auctioneer.
question.
It's like this, right? Who's the hardest of hardcore garbage men in the world? Who does that job? Like, who has the worst garbage man job? Is it the Antarctica garbage man?
I was thinking about garbage men this morning because we were talking about whether or not there is a story in the trash compactor scene from Star Wars, whether it is something testable. And there really isn't. The problem is because it's a fictional trash compactor and they don't actually even stop it from working.
No,
right? So
it just stops.
So there's nothing for us to test. It's just something that moves, right?
Well, could the monster live in there?
But I was thinking, where could we find an analog for a trash compactor? Maybe we could try and escape from a garbage truck that's actively attempting to crush.
Now, there have been movies. Like
that's been in movies.
And Superman, he did that, I guess.
Well, but there was also, I want to say that there was a movie that somebody was sleeping in the dumpster and got dumped into the compactor and then smushed.
Well, that has happened. That's happened all the time, from what I understand. And then there's that famous scene with Steve McQueen and Ally McGraw from The Getaway, where they're transported and dumped out of a garbage truck. He looks cool, even covered in trash.
That's got to be a phobia too, being in a trash compactor.
It's a pretty creative phobia. But phobias
there's a phobia for everything,
there
man.
There really is. Could you turn my ears down just a little bit?
Yeah, of course.
My hearing's too good in my left ear. It's actually
is that better? Better.
Much better.
The thing I want to know is the tropiest of movie tropes. The guy falls off of the ledge. He's hanging on an overhang. It has happened in Return of the Jedi. It happened in the new J.J. Abrams Star Wars. No, how strong someone is in the adrenaline circumstance that they can pull them back up. So like in the new Star Trek, Anton Yelton pulls up. I can't remember who it is, but somebody. Yeah, 2 people fall off the ledge, and that little tiny guy hoists up 2 dudes. I don't think you could do that with one arm.
Actually, you're reminding me. I have something in my bag here. Let's see. Where is it? There we go. Norm, look.
You also got one?
I did.
Wow.
Now that you've mentioned Star Trek, I'm going to put it on.
Wow. And this is the Novos one, it looks like.
It is. I ordered some of the insignia today.
Oh, perfect.
I ordered myself both Commander and
Science.
That's great.
They're $10. They're
of course.
well worth buying.
There we go. Hey, ladies, where are you going?
And the shirt you're wearing kind of looks like the Dickie.
Yeah, you're close.
Where did all the girls go?
You're married. It doesn't matter.
I'm totally kidding.
Man, speaking of, so the little chevron, they're not chevrons. Are they chevrons?
They're chevrons.
Ish.
They're
the
called
chevrons
chevrons in Trek lore.
It's the little Trek logo, the Enterprise logo.
Yep.
On that reminds me, when we were at South by last week, we went to the Game of Thrones exhibit.
Oh yeah, how was that?
It was unbelievable.
There are photos on the website.
There are a ton of photos on the website. We went there, waited in line, went in, and I was expecting, like, I've seen the Star Wars the original series, the original 3 episodes traveling. I saw the Star Trek stuff for the original series and the TNG, and we've talked about it a lot on the cave videos, especially. But a lot of times the props look kind of shabby in person. And these do not look shabby in the slightest.
Lord of the Rings type props.
It is
really high quality.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like the dresses, the amount of stitching and needlework and embroidery and stuff on the dresses is astounding.
Oh, that's so cool.
And I haven't looked at the gallery yet, but I hope that you got good close-ups of that.
Did
you can see it.
Did George R. R. Martin make it down to South by?
No,
I don't think so.
I mean, he doesn't live that far away. He's in Santa Fe.
But he was too busy smashing somebody's guitar, I think. The weirdest guitar smash I've ever seen. It was amazing.
Something that you notice when wearing the Star Trek uniform, we did a video about it also, is that there's a trend in Hollywood of the small logo making like pattern.
The little repeated pattern.
Yeah.
And it started with Spider-Man.
Spider-Man had it. Superman has it.
Oh, really? The S's are on the...
It's not the S's, but it is. It is got a waffle pattern.
Okay.
In the new one, it is the waffle pattern, like chainmail almost. But in the Bryan Singer one, it is the S's.
Ah.
That explains a lot.
Superman.
Brandon Routh.
Which I really like that one. Superman Returns, I thought was very enjoyable.
To disagree.
Kevin Spacey was great.
Nope, we'll have to disagree. I'm just saying we'll disagree on that.
We'll disagree. Okay, we'll disagree. I finished the 2nd season of House of Cards a few nights ago.
Well, I'm sorry.
Have you not seen it?
We'll have to agree to disagree.
Well, it's fantastic.
No, I haven't seen it.
It's fantastic.
Have you seen the 2nd season?
Yeah.
There are 2 moments in the 2nd season. I won't spoil when they are.
Uh-huh.
But if you watch the 2nd season, you'll know which moments I mean.
Is it when he's eating ribs?
They are both holy shit moments. Did you just see what happened? I cannot believe what I'm seeing. Yeah. And then there's one where I was like this. I can't look. I don't want to tell me when it's over.
Wow.
You know the one I mean.
Yes, I know.
Oh, jeez.
Episode
really, really enjoyable. 2nd season, better than the first.
I'll have to go back. I lost interest midway through the first season.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it wasn't my thing. But I also didn't like The West Wing very much. And I'm apparently the only person in North America that didn't like The West Wing. The West Wing.
The West Wing. The West Wing was a deep liberal fantasy. That's what it's like. Porn for the liberal political mind.
That's probably exactly it.
Are you conservative?
No, I live in San Francisco. Oh, right. Even our conservatives are Democrats. Our liberals are Greens or Libertarians, or they just burn things down.
Like
right. We had a Republican governor, and he was the best Democratic governor we've had in 20
he was amazing.
Years. He was far better than Gray Davis.
That's right.
Oh boy, poor Gray Davis.
Let's get political.
Let's.
No, let's not.
That's not what we're going to talk about at all.
Yeah, no.
It's a great idea. Why would we
even a
not do
little
that?
bit. South by was great. I had a great time there. It was brief. We were in and out, but what a scene! What a thing!
So it was your first time at South by?
My first time.
So I used to go in the mid 2000s, which was already at that point there were old timers going around. Man, South by is not the same anymore. We used to just go out to Bruce Sterling's house after the end of the show, and he'd talk for a while, and we'd all just get really shit faced and high out on the lake. But it's different. I mean, it's a lot bigger than it was even 7 or 8 years ago. And a lot, like the tone of the event has changed a lot as a result. So it used to be the kind of place that you go and at the end of a session or something, everybody would go out and like the speakers and everybody would come and stand out in the hall and you kind of chit chat. Oh. And then if you wanted to, you'd go get a beer or something in one of the bars down the street.
Happen now.
That stuff's done.
Yeah.
It's a very commercial event.
Yeah.
Which is, there are good things about that and bad things about that. The biggest complaint I've seen is that it's less of a place to discover a new interest, like media, new bands and new services, and more of a place for existing big services to celebrate themselves.
Right. And so again, just like Comic-Con used to be and Sundance and Telluride used to be, or not used. I mean, still there's a lot of discoveries that happen at those film festivals, but the moment they get any traction by discovering good stuff, the Harvey Weinsteins of the world come in and have a bidding war, and then it's a fait accompli where your big film is debuting at these big festivals
because there's audience there,
right?
And
it's an important audience, and it's first important. Early adopter.
And they spent decades building up a reputation and a sense of, and it's a lot of parallels to like San Francisco and the housing crisis we have going on, and people saying, everyone's moving into San Francisco, but no one's giving back. Right. And they're just taking advantage of the culture that's been here for a while.
Yeah,
that's another conversation that started 10 years, 15 years ago.
It is. It's the same conversation was happening when I lived in 22nd and Mission during the .com boom in 96, 97, 98. And it is a mix of all of those things because San Francisco's housing policy is also really terrible and backwards.
It's a real terrible mix of NIMBYism and complete failure to develop.
And again, another example where the right idea, which is rent control, is executed in the worst way that benefits a small number of people but harms a much larger number of people.
Well, and because a lot of times stuff like, so for example, the San Francisco rent control example is a great example because it was, went into place in the middle 80s probably. I mean, initially probably in the 60s and then was updated in the 80s. And then it's been static ever since. So rather than having rolling dates, for example, at the time, I think the idea was that when something's been around for 5 or 6 years, it becomes rent controlled.
Right.
They just set a fixed start date of 1980 or 82 or something.
Right. Yeah,
and now anything that's built after that no longer is covered.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just a real weird situation. It's a weird place to live.
I think it makes a lot of sense if you're going to move into a place that has existing culture, whether it's a city or an event like South by, if you can contribute and bring a little to it, or at least have that mindset, as opposed to just consume. Then that benefits.
So you're saying South by is like locusts that swarm down on Austin every spring?
I confronted. I mean, I'm right in the middle here in the Mission, and I'm absolutely one of those people who bought it. I mean, I've been living in and around the Mission for 20 years.
You're the gentrifier, though, is what you're saying.
But yeah, I'm part of that. I'm part of that wave, right? I was willing to pay the price I paid for my house, and now I live in the middle of the Mission. Well, I live where I've always lived. For 20 years, I've been within a 5-block radius of here.
The nice thing is your income kept increasing, so you could afford to continue affording to live here.
Yes.
But so you were at South by for basically a day.
Yeah, 30 hours.
Did you get to absorb any of the environment, any of the atmosphere?
Well, so I was staying at the Driscoll, and I actually have a beautiful photo which I should tweet. I'm going to tweet it right now while I'm talking.
It's a great idea.
I had this beautiful room at the Driscoll, and there was a cancellation. So the room that they had for me, they actually upgraded me to the 4th floor corner room at the Driscoll, which was, I swear, just absolutely friggin' gorgeous.
And the Driscoll's all of 6th Street.
Yeah. And I was right there. Like, I walked out onto my balcony at 4 p.m. and like all the pedicab drivers were like, "Hey, Adam," and like, lifting their shirts, because I guess that's how pedicab drivers say hello.
Pedicab's an uncomfortable word.
And then you were throwing beads down there. Well, pedicab than the alternative.
Pedi-bear?
No, rickshaw.
Oh.
Pedicab is the more appropriate.
Petty bear. pet a bear when I see
Different spelling,
pedicab.
even.
I understand it's not spelled the same. Successfully tweeted.
Successfully tweeted.
job.
There's the view from my room.
It's a great panorama.
So basically,
that's pretty,
it's
yeah.
really good that I have hearing aids that I can remove, because I, as a normal person, wouldn't have got a wink of sleep in that room all night long. It was like pounding music and bottles smashing and people yelling and singing
Yeah.
and guitars tuning. I mean, it was like sound. If I asked my sound designer to give me the sound of like a whole night festival, I would have told him he was overdoing it. It was crazy, but really fun. And we ended up,
Did you get some good food?
we had some okay food. We went to the Ginger Man with MC Frontalot
Yes.
and
Okay.
Norm, and we had a really nice evening, just sort of chilling in a quieter place. Everyone was really awesome.
And you made a discovery at the Ginger Man after we left. The connection.
Well, the Ginger Man, this is a weird one. The Ginger Man in South by in Austin, is supposedly linked directly to the Ginger Man in New York, right off of Lincoln Center.
These are bars.
And the Ginger Man in New York is actually a bar/restaurant that my father used to be a part owner of back in the late 50s and early 60s.
Wow.
He was an investor in it. And the owner's brother was a famous actor. I'm trying to remember. O'Neill. Patrick O'Neill. It's an O'Neill. It's definitely an O'Neill, because he opened another place on Lincoln Center in New York called O'Neill's Balloon. And the reason it was called O'Neill's Balloon is because when he wanted to open it, there turned out to be this ancient Prohibition era law that you couldn't call an establishment that served alcohol a saloon. And so they disallowed him the name, and he was like, screw it, I'm calling it O'Neill's Balloon.
Oh, that's great.
Isn't that good?
That's magical.
Yeah. So my dad used to bring his clients to the Ginger Man in New York. He remembers one of the early waiters in the early 60s, Peter Boyle. He remembers when the waiter, Peter Boyle, got an acting job in LA and quit and moved out west. Yeah, I know. Boom.
That's amazing.
Also, that was same South by weekend was crazy, because the Saturday night before I left for South by Sunday morning. Saturday night, I was actually the auctioneer at the fundraiser for my kids' school, Synergy, here in the Mission.
Hold on. Can you do auctioneer patter? Hey, ball right now. What do you get for it?
No. I do more like I was running around fomenting bidding battles by adding sweeteners to the pot. Like
Okay.
if you whoever wins now, I will record the outgoing message on your machine. Whoever wins now, you get 15 minutes of phone consultation with me about any project you're working on.
Wow.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so I added lots of sweeteners.
Okay. That's
great.
Like that. And it was great. We raised, I think, we raised more money than we'd ever raised before
That's
at that
fantastic.
auction. It was really, really
always the
fun.
bar.
I wore a spangly coat.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like sequins and stuff?
Yeah, I bought a
You have a lot
sequin
of photos
coat.
to share from this podcast.
The strangest thing about the sequin coat was, you search sequin coat. There's plenty out there, and really, it's hard to find them any more than about $40. They cost about $40. So
Is this like these stripper stores and stuff like that?
it was an Amazon thing. So
Okay.
I was like, great, $40, I'll buy it.
Done.
And I'll figure it's going to come and it's going to look like a David Byrne sort of like, wait, it was cut beautifully.
Really?
Actually, really well cut suit. Who knew? It's just like exactly for my form. Got 2 buttons. It's really nice.
Maybe you're the epitome of the modern man.
Or I'm the exact same as the designer of the coat.
Right. That's possible.
Yes.
Possible. Well, I guess that'll do it for us today.
No, we haven't even gotten to the point.
Oh, no. We can save that for next. I think we
okay.
talked
We can
about
just roll
South
straight
by.
into it. Yeah, this was the South
Use
by.
it. I did want to talk about South by a movie I saw.
Oh, yes. Tell me.
You saw movies?
I stayed a few extra days to watch movies, and it's difficult to get in the movies now. First of all, they did a screening of the original.
It used to be
Godzilla
so much better in the old days.
at the Alamo Draft House, which is the movie chain, the movie theater chain in Austin. There's gonna be one in San Francisco, but there's a theater, the Ritz Theater there's 2 rooms. One holds like 60 people, one holds 120 people. They had a screening of the original Godzilla remastered with 40 minutes of additional footage and a wonderful poster. Massive line for that. I didn't get to see that. That was the one I really wanted to see because people with badges go in first.
It's going to be out on DVD soon, I'm sure.
It's different to watch it in the theater. And the Alamo Draft House. Have you ever been to like a draft house theater where you can order?
I have, absolutely.
Beer.
Could you order at the seat, or do you have to get up during the movie?
So what happens is you sit down, and that's why there aren't that many
future.
seats. There's a bench in front of you that you put your phone or whatever, and there's a menu. And before the movie starts, they play amazing trailers and cut clips from old movies. And you write down on a little piece of paper what you'd like, and then a person ninja-like sneaks around, grabs all the tickets.
That's a hard
brings you
waiting job.
Incredible.
Gives you the bill before the movie's over and times it perfectly. So when the movie's over, you would have paid for everything and you can leave.
So the Red Vic, I used to go to the Red Vic in the Haight when I lived in the Haight, and it was the same kind of
Couches,
thing. Yeah, couches, but kind of like you didn't want to shine a black light in that place.
No,
it would have been bad.
it was gross.
The Alamo Draft House is nice.
The movie I did get to see that I want to talk about, kind of actually relevant to what you're wearing, is a movie that Sony just picked up from South by. It's an indie film with some stars. So sometimes the big stars will do indie films.
Yeah.
It's called Space Station 76, and it stars Patrick Wilson from The Watchmen. He played Great Everyman, a Hard Candy.
Hold on, who did he play in?
He played Owlman.
Owlman, okay.
Night Owl. And
Owl.
he was also he was one of the leads in
Owlman.
the Angels in America on HBO.
Oh, right. Okay.
He's a perfect everyman.
Yeah.
Liv Tyler is in it. Matt Bomer from White Collar. He's that USA show. I'm not sure where
Oh,
he's
okay. I know who you mean.
Hold on, is that the one where they're standing with their arms crossed and their backs to each other with the blue sky background?
all USA shows. This is great. Did you know the USA Network, if you look at all their shows, Psych, White Collar, Suits,
All the way back to Silk
everything,
Stockings.
Monk,
Stockings.
the one visual element is blue skies. It is a thing that they wanted to project. It's
Wow.
drama and comedy with this blue sky background.
Everything's better on USA, guys.
Far out.
Yeah.
I did not know.
Yeah, you can't not notice.
I don't know where I learned that, but I'm sure it was probably Reddit.
It was an interview in Wired magazine.
Oh, you're right.
The president of the network.
You're absolutely right.
Sense memory. The movie
Well done.
Space Station 76.
Yes.
With all pretty good actors, total low budget indie film about life on a space station as if it was a space station envisioned in the 1976 in the 70s.
So is it like a toroid?
So but lifestyle wise.
Oh, okay.
Like Anchorman in space.
So
What,
comedy?
Scotch.
Yes.
Oh,
They're
wow.
smoking. They all have mustaches, really bad mustaches. They're having sex everywhere. Jerry
Wow.
O'Connell's in it.
Oh, that's amazing.
It wasn't as good as I wanted to be, but the acting is still great.
Did you laugh out loud?
I did laugh. Yeah.
Okay.
Did you get to visit the gallery where they had Drew Struzan's
I
and Frazzetti's?
didn't. Oh, so there are two big galleries in Austin. The one you're talking about, a special exhibit curated by Robert Rodriguez with Frazzetti. He's the guy. He did all the Conan.
Right.
And
Yeah.
That's Frazzetti.
Yeah.
Frazzetti, yes, and the movie posters and the book covers, and Drew Struzan.
Yes. Who's one of the most. Yeah, Guillermo actually owns a couple of original Struzan
Really?
illustrations. Yeah, because he did Hellboy. He did.
And he did the Hellboy that was never released because the studio didn't want that Struzan Hellboy, to be the Hellboy poster. So it's like a DVD cover or like a limited edition, limited release thing.
It's really good that stuff survived because a lot of stuff from that period of time, the original artwork just was lost, right?
Well, not only that, Struzan worked for, and there's a documentary on Netflix about Drew Struzan.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
haven't
the best
seen it. I've been
document-
wanting to see
It's
it.
all right. Guillermo's in it. They interview him, but his artwork was stolen by the guy the middleman he was working with was just like in the contract, just took it all. And then when that guy passed away, it all resurfaced, and he had a legal battle and reclaimed all his artwork.
Oh, that's
All
great.
his original artwork.
Why are people such bastards?
It's a really good question. There's no reason to be a bastard.
Right. Like, let's
doesn't
work
make-
together.
yeah.
And meanwhile, I'll screw you for 20 years.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell are people thinking?
People who don't know who Drew
Could have made a
Struzan
really
is.
off-color joke there, but I decided not to.
Thank you.
He's the painter who paints the movie posters that you know from all the Star Wars.
example?
Classic Star Wars, Raiders. There's the first Raiders poster you saw.
Like the one that looks like a watercolor almost or a chalk
and
or
Harrison
whatever.
Ford's turning and it's just his pictures are almost weirdly.
It's like the
almost
montage, right?
photographic.
The ones with the ones like that
Yeah.
take 4 or 5 key moments from the film and put them all in like
all superimposed upon each other.
And the story of how he composes these without having seen the movie sometimes.
Really?
Like like he did the Thing poster without on a very short notice. Never had
And that's the one with the glowing
iconic,
face, right?
yeah. And he just did that in a weekend and sent it to the studio, and that is one of the most iconic movie.
He's amazing.
posters.
Yeah, it's really, really. I'm in awe of his line.
And he's still working. So, I mean, he's relatively young. Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing.
So there was a gallery with Drew Struzan's art.
You didn't go there, right?
I didn't get to go. No.
Speaking of art, there is this beautiful coffee table book out called Cabinet of Curiosities, which is Guillermo's.
It's his book.
Yes.
Yeah.
About his diaries that he keeps, and there's a special edition, which I'll show you. It's got extra artifacts in it.
No.
Oh, like the Doug Dorst, J.J. Abrams thing.
Yeah, it's
But real and not.
no, not
Okay.
within the book itself.
Okay.
It's got a cabinet, and the cabinet itself has some curiosities, like a little Kronos device. They're not the highest quality, but it's a lovely
doesn't matter.
edition.
Yeah.
But so I end up with an extra cabinet of curiosities for the tested offices.
Oh, awesome.
Take it on back and glory over it.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yes. It's a great book.
There we go. I talked about something which I can't show during the podcast, so
Yeah.
everyone go to hell.
Hey guys, there's some other amazing stuff off camera that we're never going to show on the
Because
internet.
how about that? That thing is so awesome.
I can't believe how big that is, and it looks so realistic hanging up there. Oh, we're bad people. I think that should probably do it for us
I
this
think I
week.
should do it.
We'll talk about what we were going to talk about maybe next week or even the week after.
How about that?
But next week we'll probably talk about something else. And you know,
I think it's time to sign off.
yeah, we'll see you guys. Hold on. Premium memberships. We have premium memberships with all sorts of great behind the scenes content.
Yep.
Not the stuff that we just talked about, but other good stuff.
Yep.
You also get a letter from us occasionally, monthly,
A month?
theoretically.
Okay.
If you would like to support the podcast in a less fiduciary way, you can by rating us on iTunes or subscribing to the podcast.
Fiduciary.
That's the right word,
Oh,
right?
no, it's totally right.
Okay.
It just was like,
I started saying, I was like, shit, is this the right word?
it's like the government employee fired for using the word pedantic in a memo.
Okay. Really?
Yeah, because his supervisor was like, we're not going to have any child molesting talking about during our. Yeah. Wee.
Oh, boy.
True story. I read it on the internet.
We'll see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.